Nobody ever finds it easy to move away from their family. However, there are times when we must in order to find our own tomorrow. Guy, a young child, set out on a search for his future after losing both of his parents. He doesn't have any advanced vehicles to increase his speed because he is a caveman. He can only move in the direction of the light. He anticipated the trip to be brief, but years have passed and Guy hasn't learned anything about his destination. Then, unexpectedly, he runs into another teen one night. It's a stunning woman named Eep. She is overjoyed to meet someone her own age and falls in love with him right away. She introduces Guy to the Croods, her family. Except for Grug, her father, everyone adores him. Despite the fact that she has no intention of leaving Guy's side, Eep is sick of living in a cave and wants to move to what Guy refers to as tomorrow. But as they travel, Eep's love grows stronger and stronger. They are traveling through the canyons when suddenly a group of kangaroos charge at them. Fortunately, Grug's family is a pack of fighters and they are adept at self-defense. Grug wants to preserve his pack's unity forever, but it now seems impossible. Eep has found another person she wants to live out her days with. No matter how hard Grug tries, there is no chance that Eep will ever enter a relationship with Guy. They want to spend time together romantically, but they can't get a single moment to themselves. The group has arrived in the desert. Grug advises that they make a camp and take a break. He assigns the members the various tasks. Everyone but Guy and Eep immediately completes their tasks. These two are in a completely different world, and Grug is already tired of them. Her daughter must never leave his side, in his opinion. Later that night, when everyone else was asleep, Guy proposed to Eep with a proposal stone and declared his love for her. He asks her if she wants to start a new life with him and buy them a house. Eep nods in agreement right away, and they begin making plans for the future. They had no idea that Grug had heard everything and was still refusing to accept that his daughter was an adult. There is a surprise the following morning. When they heard a strange noise, everyone was sound asleep. It originates in the bushes. The pack positions itself to attack the predator, but Grug is actually the target. He discovered a hidden treasure after getting up early. There's a wooden fence tucked away deep within the forest, and there is an entirely new world on the other side of this barrier. A planet where there is enough food and crop production for a very long time. The crocodiles haven't eaten much. They lose all self-control when they see so much food. They keep eating until they are too full to take any more. Grug notices a banana all of a sudden. He hasn't consumed one in a while. A trap catches them all as they attempt to get there. After some time, two individuals enter the room and say they are the Betterment. These two have discovered and altered this world. They are surprisingly aware of Guy. He had grown up alongside them since a young age. Phil and Hope appear to be extremely happy to finally meet Guy. They invite them to come stay at their house. The Bettermen have developed a number of ways to live a contemporary and respectable life in recent years. The modern amenities in their home are miraculous to the poor cave dwellers. Dawn, a daughter of this couple, was a friend of Guy's since childhood. Even now, they get along great. Eep ought to be envious right now, but instead, she's delighted to meet another young woman. The night falls. Phil provides each person with their own room to live in. The crocodiles get to experience privacy for the first time in their lives. Grug, however, is not at all content. He thinks his family ought to eat and sleep together again like they used to. Uka, his wife, makes an effort to persuade him to remain. He avoids having to leave his daughter behind this way. Although they may be in different rooms, at least they are in the same location. Phil and Hope are carrying out their own strategy in the interim. They were constantly concerned about leaving their daughter alone. However, Guy has since been discovered, and Dawn can now live on with him. Hope, however, has her doubts about Guy and Eep's romance. She is prepared to separate them so that Guy and Dawn can start dating. The Bettermen awaken Guy as dawn breaks and tell him to spend more time with Dawn. Everything Guy encounters in this new world captivates him. Other Croods are also taking advantage of the luxuries, not just him. Due to their family's behavior, Grug and Eep become angry and begin looking for Guy. But there's a treat in store for them. Guy has undergone a complete transformation and has joined the Bettermen. He also counsels Eep to follow suit, but she isn't prepared to give up her true identity. Eep begins to doubt her love for Guy and withdraws, but Dawn continues to pursue her. She is curious to learn more about Eep. Dawn was incredibly moved by her bravery. She was never allowed to leave the high walls by her parents. She aspires to leave her cave just like Eep does. Eep decides to give Dawn a special ride after hearing her tale. They climb aboard the tiger and scale the wall. Dawn is for the first time living a life of complete freedom. She is enjoying the most wonderful times of her life. They abruptly fall into the honeybee's nest, and Dawn is stung. She's simply thrilled to get her first scar, so she's not at all in pain. The Bettermen are attempting to get rid of Grug's family in the meantime. While Phil attempts to persuade Grug by taking him to a sauna, Hope subtly instructs Uga to leave their home. He strikes a deal and begins to brainwash the man. Grug allows Phil to keep Guy because he wants to spend his entire life with his daughter. Uga brings him back to reality when he gets home. They cannot allow Guy to be taken away because he is a member of their family. Evening has already arrived, and Eep is back with Dawn. Guy encounters them en route. When he sees Dawn in pain from the wound, he becomes enraged and scolds Eep for being a careless cave girl. Eep's mind begins to reverberate with the phrase cave girl. She had no idea Guy was watching her from above. Everyone is seated in the dining hall and is in an aggressive mood. Phil uses the occasion to make public the agreement he and Grug reached. Everyone starts fighting with one another as a result of the ensuing chaos. Grug yells, stopping everyone. Guy is asked if he wants to accompany him as he and his family decide to leave this location. Guy, however, won't leave the opulent location. Eep leaves feeling disappointed and claims she had the wrong man as her true love. Grug acknowledges that he has consumed all of the bananas before departing. Phil becomes terrified at this and runs for the wall. The bananas were kept for the monster on the other side of the wall. He is a new person to Phil, but the monster retreats when bananas are thrown against the wall. There are no longer any bananas available. Someone starts beating on the wall until it crumbles. Unexpectedly, there is only one tiny monkey. Grug makes fun of Phil, but then a large number of untamed monkeys start to rush in. Grug, Phil, and Guy are captured and taken away by the group. The crocodiles decide to locate their men by using the hints. Hope is hesitant to go with them, but agrees when she realizes Dawn is worried about her father. The wild monkeys are carrying Guy, but all he can think about is Eep. The opposite is also true. Eep is upset, but Guy won't leave her mind. Someone's love cannot be ceased in a single day. The crocodiles have arrived at the land shark-filled stone bridge. Hope tries to take a different route because she is unwilling to risk her life, but Uga disapproves. They fall into the river after their ride becomes unbalanced. They get out to sea and get lost. Gran assumes control and assures everyone that she will find a solution. Gran removes the fluffy creature from her head and tells it to go. Hope begins to freak out because she thinks the plan is pointless. She yells at the Croods, calling them filthy and stupid. She then begins to flee blindly and becomes trapped in a cave. She is then attacked by a huge husky spider, but Eep intervenes to save her. Dawn prevents the Croods from fighting when they are ready to. All the spiders wanted was to keep their young alive. Just as Hope desires, but she's going about it the wrong way. The men have been transported to the monkeys' shelter in the interim. There are many more monkeys living there. They all possess strong and distinctive abilities. Humans have no chance of defeating them. The leader of the monkeys receives all the information from the group. Fortunately, Guy is able to communicate and starts speaking with the leader. These monkeys were residing in a banana-filled oasis. Each person had enough food, and the extras were fed to a monster. But one day, their access to water was suddenly cut off. The monkeys had to borrow bananas from the bettermen as the oasis withered away. After hearing this tale, Phil imparts his water supply construction expertise. However, he unintentionally admits that he was the one who took the water supplies from the monkeys. The angry monkeys seek retribution. They begin to attack from all 4 directions. Guy and the others are currently confined in a cage and will soon receive their punishment. However, they remain hopeful because Gran's pet located them. It returns the message to the group. Eep is experiencing heartbreak there. She is venting her rage on the helpless stones and trees. Even though Ugga tries to calm her down, Eep is still in denial and thinks she no longer cares about Guy. If it hurts, it means you care, and it's worth fighting for, Ugga tells her daughter with a smile. Eep is now more motivated as a result of this statement. She moves too quickly for her love. Likewise, Hope is deteriorating. She questions why, given how rude she was, the crocodiles still managed to save her. Eep replies with a single sentence. The pack always stays together. The family has learned from Gran's pet. The women are prepared to take on the opposition. When Gran was younger, she competed in a team known as the Thunder Sisters. This brings back those memories. They sat outside on the rescue after she gave everyone new names in response to that. Guy and his companions are brought to the stadium of the monkeys. They'll be fed to the monster soon. Grug and Phil begin fighting each other rather than finding a way out. Guy leaps in to try and stop them, but all his efforts are unsuccessful. Grug and Phil insult each other and charge each other with being bad fathers. They are battling with words, and the words are inflicting more damage on them than any weapon ever could. Guy becomes aware of his errors as a result. With his words, he had severely wounded Eep. But it's too late to turn around now. Guy and his friends will be killed tonight and sacrificed to the monster while disguised as bananas. In the nick of time, Grug and Phil make amends to one another. Guy is also regretting his errors. The earth begins to tremble as a huge monkey emerges from the deadly red smoke. He's all set to start eating, but hold on. Here come the Thunder Sisters. The monkeys prepare to stop them, but the Winham's queen is not backing down. The monster places the men inside his mouth, but Gran makes the smart move. Fireheart, along with her sister Sunset, their mothers Bloodhorn and Bogwater, are prepared for a face-to-face battle. She forces her pet into the monster's nostrils, causing him to throw up his meal. Yet he isn't giving him. Grug and Phil inadvertently manage to escape as Eep diverts the monster and directs him in a different direction. Grug isn't following Phil's advice to flee on his own, rather, he's doing it. Because the pack remains unified at all times. Grug and Phil start a new relationship as a result of this charming exchange. They are now known as the Banana Bros. They successfully exit the cave together, but Guy has come back to save Eep. They scramble up a skull to escape the monster. The ropes could snap at any moment because they are dangling over a large hole. Guy wants to say something to Eep that is extremely important before anything else happens. He looked for a tomorrow his entire life, but it wasn't a place, it was someone. And that individual is Eep. He then distributes the proposal stone after saying this. The monster wants to ruin the romantic moment though. The Croods and Bettermen have thankfully arrived to assist. They begin tossing stones, but it takes more of a push to get the monster to fall into the pit. Guy has a thought. He makes a fire by rubbing the proposal stone against his stone necklace. The monster is lowered into the deep hole along with the burning ropes. Everyone begins to rejoice, but it might be too soon. The monster clings to Eep while making an attempt to retreat. He did, however, grab a fake toe. He is returned to the pit as a result. After that, tranquility reigns. This time, there are no walls at the Betterman's oasis, where everyone is welcome to stay. The new home for the monkeys was overflowing with bananas. Finally, Eep and Guy have been partners for all time. Grug constantly fretted that his pack would shrink, but in the end, it grew even larger. Being together is where the power is. Turn on the notification for more videos like this one and subscribe.